The world knows it's sometimes difficult to swallow the truth. It becomes even tougher when you're asked to swallow the raw truth. The world knows that in 1978, newly elected Democratic Senator David Carmichael's beautiful young aide, Janet Moore, was killed in this screeching automobile accident. Now, although the senator was never charged, we have discovered the raw truth.
Yeah, I know, Joe. I'm watching. It's all lies. Well, what do you expect? It's Monroe Park.
Hold all the senator's calls.
Listen, Joe, I'll get back to you, all right?
On that fateful night, beautiful Janet Moore was supposedly celebrating the senator's victory. Soon after this shot was taken, Janet Moore got into a leased car, leased by the senator, and an hour later she was found dead. Raw truth is discovered that Ms. Moore didn't leave the party as happy as these photographs indicate. According to Senator Carmichael's statements, he was driven home that night by his wife, Diana. But that's not the way the senator's personal bodyguard remembers it. Our investigative team has unearthed a diary, and that diary proves it wasn't Diana Carmichael the senator went home with that evening. Could it be because Janet Moore was carrying his love child?
We tracked down Miss Moore's old roommate, Alice Godfrey. Now, she painted quite a different picture of Janet.
Yes, this is Diana. May I speak with my husband, please?
You know how the paper
Senator.
I said no calls.
It's your wife.
After the accident, they made her sound practically suicidal.
And she was.
Oh, I should say not. I don't think I ever
Diana.
remember Janet
David, I thought this was all behind us.
Everything is gonna be all right.
What about this diary?
I don't know anything about that diary. We both know what happened that night.
When are you coming home?
I'm coming right now.
As most of you know, Senator Carmichael is sponsoring a bill in Congress which would severely limit the electronic media's access to the raw truth. I think, however, when we show you the diary, you're going to ask yourself, who was the senator trying to protect? Is it you? Or more likely, is it Senator Carmichael?
You bastard, Park. You're trying to destroy me, aren't you? Bill, get me my coat. The rain you called down for my car. I've had enough of you.
Last hours and minutes of Miss Janet Moore, the raw truth. Catch it.
There he is. Let's go.
Senator Carmichael, would you like to make a comment regarding our story on Raw Truth?
All lies, and you know it. And I don't make comments to people that distort the truth.
What is the truth, Senator? Senator! Senator, you haven't answered my question. What is the truth? Come on, let's follow him.
Don't lose him. What's your shot?
Right on the car.
Pan up to the car from here.
We must fight evil, no matter where, no matter when, and no matter what the cost.
Oh, you're so right. I do hold you accountable, Ballister. What the hell do you think you were doing?
Park's program is syndicated. We're just one of dozens of affiliate stations all over this country that broadcast his show. What are you calling me for?
Well, he works out of your studios, doesn't he? You own the biggest percentage of his show.
That doesn't mean I can control him. Monroe Park is his own man. That's why we brought him over.
But he's already destroyed the reputations in Australia, and he's doing even more than that now.
I know Senator Carmichael was a friend of yours, Alex, but...
Our friendship has nothing to do with it. Monroe is trying to change history. There was an investigation. Carmichael was cleared, and he served on the Senate for 14 years now with distinction.
That doesn't mean there wasn't one hiding in the wings.
Nor that the evidence against him wasn't staged.
Do you have any proof of that, Alex?
No, just something in my gut.
Your defense of Senator Carmichael wouldn't have anything to do with the privacy of information bill he was trying to push through the Senate.
Carmichael's bill was simply trying to address the threat to privacy engendered by the new media.
And just incidentally put reporters like Park out of business.
That may not be such a bad idea.
Well, I'm sorry, the people wouldn't agree with you. Park's ratings are going sky high. His audience is increasing weekly.
At what price, Ballister? The death of an honorable man?
Don't blame Carmichael's death on Park. He didn't tell the senator to drive recklessly, nor did he encourage him.
But his report strongly implied that Carmichael had a drinking problem, among other such fantasies.
Facts are facts.
Yes, especially when they get good ratings. Peter, I want you to clear Senator Carmichael's name. I want you to put Parks out of business.
You know, you've got all the equipment to be a giant in this industry.
Oh, I bet if I stick real close to you, I'll go all the way. Won't I?
You can bet on it. You did something brilliant the other day. The liquor bottle in the Carmichael accident scene. Oh, yes. Monroe. Ballister, everybody knocks on my door before they enter, even you.
We have to talk.
Great speaking voice.
I just had a call about last night's show.
Oh, Ballister, why do you worry about things like that? That's what you pay me the big bucks for.
This Carmichael thing could blow up in our faces.
It's a dynamite show.
Well, I just hope you've covered your ass on this one.
Ballister, don't get cold feet on me now, all right?
This footage, courtesy of the Raw Truth, was recorded just moments after Senator Carmichael's tragic accident. They had to put the bottle in the shot, didn't they?
Put the bottle right in the picture. Now, that's typical Parks techniques. Give that shot to the media.
You don't buy that kind of promotion.
No. You can bet it'll boost his ratings. Make his character assassination of Carmichael that much more complete.
Have we heard from Mrs. Carmichael?
Yeah. Yeah, the boss spoke to her this morning. I mean, she's keeping herself pretty much to herself, but she is prepared to see me this afternoon.
What did she say about the diary written by her husband's bodyguard?
Well, she denies that it exists. Just said the guy's name was Lockley, that he died 3 years ago.
Lockley.
Yeah, L-O-C-K-L-E-E. But I'm going to throw that one into your court. And we have to be sure whether that diary exists or not. And what's this pink little fireball?
There's a blizzard in Washington, D.C. Happens every once in a while. I figured that little furry thing would keep your little pink ears warm.
Oh, stop. That's really sweet of you.
Thought you'd like it.
Thank you. I love the color.
Thought you would.
But unfortunately, this is one of those assignments where you're going to do all the work. Outdoors, you know how I hate the cold. Oh, by the way, if you're going to be out, you might stop off at the accident site. I hope you won't find it too cold.
You know, us ex-Navy SEALs, we love the cold.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. JJ. From all of us to you.
Thanks. Nice muffs. Oh, by the way, we'll be landing in 20 minutes.
How long after the crash did you get the call?
About 5 minutes. Took the first cruiser about 10 minutes to arrive on the scene. Weather was pretty bad.
Raw Truth camera crew was here about 15 minutes alone.
Yeah, something like that.
Get a chance to see the footage?
Everybody this side of Yellow River probably did too.
What about the bottle?
This whole creek's littered with them. You got everything from scotch to baby formula here.
Any proof it belonged to the senator?
The autopsy showed no trace of alcohol.
What about Carmichael's driving record?
It's clean as a whistle. What I can't figure out, why is he driving so fast without a seatbelt during this weather?
Well, you tend to do that when you're being chased.
You're starting to sound like Monroe Park, Mr. Stone.
Maybe.
Miss Lockley?
Yeah?
Do you have a moment?
I'm on my way out.
Wasn't your husband Senator Carmichael's bodyguard?
You a reporter?
Not exactly. Can you answer a few questions about your husband and the diary?
I'm not supposed to talk about that with anyone. I have an agreement with Mr. Park.
Does it include a guarantee that you won't be prosecuted? His story is proven to be a fraud. Is there a diary?
Like I told all the others, you have to talk to Mr. Park. He owns the rights.
To what? Senator Carmichael's death? You sold him the rights to that, too.
Look, when my husband Frank died, he left me a pension of $300 a month.
And I guess Park offered you considerably more than that.
That is my business.
Is it? You see, chances are the police will be asking the same questions soon.
I had no idea what Park had in mind. Believe me.
I think we better talk about this.
Yes, the press are pretty unbelievable. I literally had to fight my way through.
Yes, they've been out there all day waiting for me to say something.
Yeah, when you don't have to say anything. Your husband's record speaks for itself.
Yes, so I would have thought, till last night. They hounded him to death.
Well, last night was a travesty, an absolute bloody disgrace. But it's still being investigated, and believe me, the police will get to the bottom of it.
But now, thanks to Monroe Park, we now have his version of the truth.
Mrs. Carmichael. I know that this would be a very painful subject at this time, but can you tell me about your husband's past drinking problem?
He hadn't had a drink since a week after Janet died.
How well did you know, Miss Moore?
As well as any wife can know her husband's lover. He was away for weeks at a time. There was no way that I would or could know where he was.
Well, I appreciate your candor.
I'm not afraid of the truth. It's just the lies.
What do you know about the diary?
As much as anyone in the world, I suspect. Frank, David's bodyguard, was a good friend of ours.
Do you think it's authentic?
I know that Frank would never have done anything to hurt David.
I understand that the diary alleges that Miss Moore was pregnant with your husband's child.
That's not true. Nor was it true that David was driving the car that Janet died in.
Can you be sure of that?
Mr. Sinclair, I drove my husband home that night. That was the same night that he ended the affair with her. She confessed her pregnancy was a ploy to get my husband away from me. That was it. You'll have to take my word for that.
The diary is a fake.
I rather suspected as much. So what exactly did Mrs. Lockley tell you?
Well, her husband never talked about the senator, much less wrote about him.
And Janet Moore?
I talked to her friends and family. She never kept a diary, according to them.
And what did you get?
I got bottles all over the place. That particular bottle never showed up again, except on the videotape.
Oh, I didn't need to. Park had already done the damage. You know, that guy must have attended one of those schools of journalism that was more than yellow.
Now, that guy, Monroe Park, one hell of a dangerous man.
Every day on Lone Star Cinema.
Propaganda. And psychological terror in Southeast Asia.
That's where Park started, in the Australian Army Counterintelligence Service.
Hounds of Hell.
What'd you say, Stone?
That's what we called them in Nam. Hounds of Hell. They specialized in disinformation. You take A, you add B. But it sure as hell don't add up to C. What it adds up to is a pile of lies.
We've put together a tape profiling Park's career after he left the army.
What Australian superstar is currently making it big in Hollywood? The Park Report takes you behind the scenes to visit the man down under who gets down and dirty between the sheets.
This tape was used in a divorce action. Although it never proved authentic, it did cost the man his wife and family.
It's business as usual now that the Vietnam War's over. But then it's always business as usual for Australian businessman Tyrone Baxter.
I knew Baxter. He was opposed to the war, but he never traded with the enemy, as this tape of Parks indicates. Because of this smear, Baxter lost his job. 15,000 people worldwide lost their jobs. This is the piece that brought him to America.
Those high fives and hugs may tell us more about the gridiron than we think. The Monroe Park edition takes us behind the scenes of America's favorite pastime and shows you something the owners don't want you to know about. They're homosexual stars.
That's completely unfounded. Parks timed his story to coincide with the AIDS epidemic. And this homophobic track destroyed the lives of 3 superb young athletes. One attempted suicide.
I remember that guy. Played for the Eagles.
What a muckraker. He's certainly diversified in his attacks.
The common element is the well-placed lie.
Link out. Wherever Park is, bad news follows.
Let's see what they've got to say tonight.
Pardon me, miss. May I ask you a few questions? Sure. Do you work here? Yes. How long have you worked here? Oh, a couple of years. Are you familiar with Senator Carmichael? How long would you say Senator Carmichael's been coming to this facility? Well, there you have it. While the staff wouldn't comment on camera, the raw truth has learned that Senator Carmichael came to this alcohol rehab center once a month.
The result of a senator's inability to be able to deal with alcoholism resulted in this. Let us pray that some good can come from this.
That was brilliant. The way you linked Carmichael to the alcohol rehab center. No one will ever know the real reason why that nurse denied comment.
I kind of thought you'd like that edit.
What about the diary?
There's no diary. The diary is missing. Somebody is trying to embarrass me. Make it fast. Ballister, what are you worried about? Tomorrow we go shoot the funeral, you know, grieving widow. By the time we get through tomorrow night, we'll have enough film. We'll be able to make 2 extra shows.
I didn't tell them anything.
You didn't have to. People like Park make up what they want.
Senator Carmichael never tried to hide his visits here. Why would he? He came on his own time once a month to console and encourage the patients. He volunteered his time.
So the senator wasn't coming here for treatment, like Park's report suggested?
Of course not. And if he were, that would be privileged information that I would not discuss or even hint at.
Would you be willing to make this public?
I'll do anything to reverse the damage that Park used me to do.
Good.
Well, if the nurse will talk to us, I can have a camera crew at the rehab center within the hour.
Good.
What about the bodyguard's wife?
Mrs. Lockley, I think you'll find her a little reluctant to be interviewed.
Mr. Sinclair, as I told you, there is nothing I would like more than to get Monroe Park off the air. He discredits all of us in the news business. He crucifies by innuendo, and he's been impossible to nail because he's so good at what he does. It's what he leaves out that always does the damage.
Yeah, tell me about it.
If you can get the goods on him, we'll put it on the air. Pat would be happy to. We'll think of it as a public service.
Thank you, Miss Watt.
He won't hurt our ratings either.
Yeah, right.
Nice weather we're having here.
Yeah, right. What can I do for you?
You Roy Stevenson?
Yeah, you got him. Somebody refer you?
Yeah, Vietnam vets.
Yeah, vets don't have registration on auto body shops, man.
No? But they registered you, and they registered me.
Yeah, I recognize that 1,000-yard stare.
Can you talk about it?
Some parts.
What about the Hounds of Hell?
Aussies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had Nam down to a fine art, man.
What about a guy named Park?
Park?
Yeah.
Park was one of my favorites. Mean son of a bitch. He's my running buddy's CO. Head of counterintelligence operations.
Did he plan the missions?
Yeah, he'd drop the guys behind the lines at night. Go into a VC village. Got one of them, while the other one slept. Then he'd tie the pieces from hooch to hooch, just to let them know that we knew where they lived.
Nice guy.
He's a genius. Park was a genius.
Come on. What do you have to say?
I would suggest, Mr. Sinclair, that you solve your damn case the same way I solved mine. Prove it.
That suits me. So let's start with the nurse in the rehabilitation clinic. What your program implied was absolutely false, and you know damn well that the senator's visits were purely volunteer work.
Now, why don't you tell me something I don't already know, huh?
I mean, and I cannot believe that you included a shot of a liquor bottle at the crash site. Now, that was cheap. Very cheap.
Cheap, was it, huh? I thought it was brilliant. Television is like life. What you see is what you get. It's a matter of interpretation.
No. It's a matter of fact. I know that's a tough concept. But Mrs. Carmichael would swear that her husband hadn't had a drink in 15 years.
Well, what the hell wife do you know that would testify to anything else?
And everyone at the clinic would say exactly the same thing.
I don't know anyone who gets blotto in a rehab clinic.
He wasn't in rehab, and you know it.
I never said he was. But maybe he should have been.
Park, there was absolutely no evidence in his body, in his car, in his apartment, or his office of any recent use of alcohol.
I know, isn't it awful? Famous drunks have to be so secretive nowadays.
Oh, you are so bloody transparent. Your story wasn't about Carmichael's drinking problem. Your story was a smear campaign because his right to privacy bill would put weasels like you out of business.
Why do you let him call you those naughty little names, Ballister, huh?
What exactly do you want, Mr. Sinclair?
A complete retraction.
Ha!
On air.
Let me tell you something, that's not gonna happen in your wildest dreams.
You know that I have a sworn statement from Frank Lockley's widow. Her husband never kept a diary.
Let me tell you something. We paid Frank Lockley's widow big bucks up front as an advance for the exclusive rights to that diary. Ballister, we might have another show there. I sue the widow.
Dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. I mean, do you really condone this garbage?
I don't tell Mr. Park what to put on his show.
No, but you're certainly tarred with the same brush. You know, I know you, Park. I know you inside out and backwards. I know where you came from. I know where you're going. I intend to stop you going any further.
Listen, pal, don't threaten me, all right? I am a celebrity. I'm a celebrity who appears before millions of people each and every night to tell them the truth, the raw truth. They don't want retractions. You don't want a retraction, do you, Ballister? He likes those #1 ratings.
Let me promise you something. Unless you go on air with a clarification of that story, all those #1 ratings aren't going to be worth one iota in court.
Do you think for one single second I'm some little kid sitting in your first-year journalism class?
No, I don't. Mr. Ballister, you know, if a retraction is not forthcoming, I really can assure you that by the time Mr. Addington has finished, there won't be one sponsor in the whole damn country who will even touch the raw truth. Now, I suggest that you guys just both think about that.
Mr. Sinclair.
Ballister, come on. He wants you to panic. He's got nothing.
He's got Alexander Addington.
Alexander Addington was with him all along, and he had nothing then. There's nothing to have.
Addington can bring pressure to bear right across the board. You think about a retraction.
A retraction? Are you out of your mind? That would kill my credibility.
Well, I think we'd better give him something.
Okay. We'll give him something then. I got something for him. I'll drop the show.
You do that?
Of course I do it. Got a better show. Another expose.
Oh, great. What?
Expose on Alexander Addington.
I think I'm being followed, Alexander. When I left my apartment this morning, there were 2 men in a car following my cab right to the office.
Are you all right? I'll alert security.
Think you better have a look at this.
Do a full sweep on Miss Previn's apartment. I want to know who's following her. I don't believe this. They're bribing Bennett. It's outrageous. $10,000 to have a drink with the investigator of the raw truth.
I'll do it.
One hell of a drink.
How they could be so naive as to think I wouldn't tell you is beyond me.
Oh, well, they just don't care, Bennett. They're looking for filth, that's all.
I'll institute full security precautions on our computers.
Yeah, well, you better inform Peter immediately.
Yes, sir.
I can't believe it.
Calls, Maggie. Okay, come on. What do we got?
Net worth around $35 billion.
Headquartered in Paris, moved there from New York 4 years ago.
After his wife was kidnapped.
Give me more.
Unidentified terrorists took her, and she was never found.
Sinclair.
Former Scotland Yard terrorist specialist. That's where he met Addington.
Interesting. He left the yard for Addington? What about the rest of his staff?
Very tight-knit, but we tried the butler, Bennett.
And?
No bites, yet.
We've got to get inside. What about the secretary?
Helene Previn. Husband dead, with Addington for 3 years.
Extracurriculars?
We're working on it. We know that Previn's husband and Addington knew each other.
Business?
Well, socially, too. Mrs. Previn and Chantel Addington were friends.
Bingo. Oh, yeah. Bingo.
Well, you know what he's up to, that scoundrel.
Yeah, Bennett filled me in about 10 minutes ago.
The man's a blight on legitimate journalism.
You know exactly what he's after.
Well, of course. The minute he started investigating us, he significantly undermined our position. There's no way we can go to his sponsors now and cry foul. No way.
Yeah, and Linda Watt from WNN made her position very clear. They're not going to go on air unless our position is stronger than theirs.
Damn, I've been getting calls all day from friends and business associates. He's trying to get everything he can on us and my organization.
Oh, but so you've got nothing to hide?
Well, no, I know, but you know what he does with these scraps of information and what he invents. I'm not afraid of him. It's my people, Elaine and Bennett, and even you, the team.
Yes, sir, I know. In fact, I just heard from a chum at Scotland Yard. Park is trying to find any chink in the armor.
More the merrier.
Okay, let's go, everybody. Out. Come on, folks. I said everybody out. Now, move it. Come on! Out! Go ahead. I'll talk to y'all later on. Neil, I want to talk to you about your project later.
Great.
Thank you. Betty, not you, please. You turn off all the microphones. Neil, close the door, will you, please?
Sure.
I am going to make you world famous.
In here?
Let's talk about the Eddington case. 4 years ago, Chantel Addington is kidnapped by terrorists. Less than 1 year goes by, and Helene Previn's husband bites the dust.
And they're all best friends.
Think about this now. Before her husband's body is cold in the grave, she moves into Addington's office as his
Personal secretary.
Thank you. Exactly. I have information that says the kidnapping and Previn's move into Addington's life are not an accident.
Truth is stranger than fiction.
Oh, yes, truth is stranger than fiction. But you have a kicker here. The kicker is this. How do you cover up the crime? And the answer is, you hire the world's best expert on terrorism.
Peter Sinclair.
I'm gonna go play. I'll see you in a bit, Pete.
Stone. Good luck. And watch your back.
Well, I appreciate the thought, Pete. But I've been doing this for a long time. Why don't you use it on her? And I'll see you in a little while.
Ciao. Oh, you're traveling very light. Have you got everything you need?
I have my toothbrush, your credit card.
I'm glad I paid the bill.
They don't know about the team, that's sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I want to keep it that way. No, at the moment, I'm the only one that Park can directly link with Addington. But you're right, if they ID'd us together, it would certainly make things complicated.
It wouldn't work, Peter.
Yeah. And for all we know, they may have already bugged the phones and tapped into the computers. So we have to be very careful.
Yeah. How much time do we have?
Not much. According to the program syndicators, Park is in the last throes of preparation for this week's episode of the Addington Smear.
Oh, Mr. Park.
What you got, Sal?
Seems we're not the only ones digging up Alexander Addington's past. Want me to check it out?
I think I'll take care of this one myself. Good job. Miss Sherman, I haven't had a chance to meet you, but I have always admired your work.
Thank you, Mr. Park.
You know my name.
Yes, I do.
I was kind of wondering how long you'd be in town.
A few days.
I see we have some mutual interests.
But we have very different styles, don't we? Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got my hands full right now.
Maybe I can help.
Somehow I don't think so. I'm sure we're not working the same angle.
That's a good reason. If we're not working the same angle, maybe we should work together.
What's in it for me?
I hate to be an egotist. But reality has it that more people watch my television show every single night than all the people who have read your articles since the first article you ever wrote.
So why do you need me?
2 reasons. Number 1, you're respectable. I'm notorious. Number 2, you just might have some additional information on Chantel Addington.
You're a disease, and I'm the cure. Die! Every day on Lone Star Cinema.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, help me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, and lead me on.
You can take a child's hand right now. Please call and reach out to a child in desperate need. You can bring hope to a girl like Raina, who sifts through garbage all day just to survive.
Precious Lord, take my hand.
You can help an orphan like Acesa, whose mother and father died of AIDS.
I am tired, I am weak.
You can save the life of a child like Safi, who is 9 years old and weighs only 31 pounds.
Through the storm, through the night.
All it takes is about $1 a day. Call now for the photo and story of a child you can help.
Precious Lord, and lead me
Don't put it off, because every moment matters to the child who's waiting for you. Please call World Vision and sponsor a child today.
and lead me
Change a life. Change your own.
Rescue me, take me in your arms, rescue me. I want your tender charms, come on, baby, and rescue me.
Like that's ever gonna happen. So make sure you're protected with Tena's complete line of bladder weakness products. Tena, real protection for real life. For a free sample, call 1-877-GET-TENA.
Weekdays in TV Tropolis, shake it for us, baby. Fraser and Seinfeld, weekdays in TV Tropolis, and TV lives here.
Did you find anything interesting?
Oh, you're very thorough. What did your contact have to say?
He wants $25,000 cash. He's calling in 15 minutes for a yes or a no. What should I tell him?
Is he everything you say he is?
I've been investigating this for 3 years now. Everyone else associated with the alleged terrorist group is dead. His only chance to stay alive is to make what he knows public, and he needs the money.
Who's he running from?
Peter Sinclair?
Peter Sinclair. Oh, yes. We're on the same wavelength.
I hope so. Can you come up with $25,000 cash?
$25,000? That's a bargain at double the price.
Fine. That means you have more money to pay me.
We'll see. In the meantime, when your contact calls, tell him to meet us tonight. Let's go.
No, it's better if I go in first. Talk to him.
All right, go ahead. No. I'll hold the money here. You go find him. Hurry up.
What's going on, Monroe? What do we need her for?
Just get the camera ready. There she is. If this works, it's gonna be the biggest story we've ever had. Come on, let's go. Come on. Where is he?
Inside. But he's very nervous. Give me the briefcase.
I'll hold the money. I'll call the shots.
Does she have to come?
I take the pictures, Miss Germont.
Don't you try to take any shots until he says so, okay?
I know the game.
I hope so.
Ladies, I'd like to see this man, if you don't mind. Here we go. Please. Come on. Come on.
Take it easy.
What kind of a contact is this you've got?
Relax, will you? You want your interview?
Why?
It's all right. He's got the money.
Right here, pal. It's the cash you asked for. I've got it in here. I'll show it to you. Take me inside.
Let's talk about it.
Can we get any more light in here?
What?
We need the lights, sir, in order for me to be able to tape our conversation.
Hold on.
No, wait a minute, man. I don't like surprises. We didn't talk about this.
Wait a second, Mr. Germont, please. Sir, I have the money. I call the shots. You asked for 25 G's. I bought that money with me. I cannot give it to you without a guarantee that we will have our conversation on tape.
All right, let's take a look.
Betty, go check the lights out for me, will you, please? Get me some more light in here. Excuse me. Okay, Betty, get in here over my left shoulder. Come on in down. Get a close-up on him. I know you'd like to remain anonymous, therefore I'm not going to ask you your name, but I will ask you to identify your background to our studio audience and our audience at home.
Well, after Nam, spent a little time floating around. So then I heard this other gig was coming down. So I went for that.
By other gig, are you talking about the Addington kidnapping?
Yeah. There was 7 of us all together. We were supposed to snatch this broad.
Okay. Who hired you for that?
Some guy.
What guy?
Some English dude.
Peter Sinclair hired you to go after the Addington.
I don't know, man. I never met the guy. We never talked face to face.
We seem to be having a little difficulty here. Would you mind turn that off for just a second, Betty? Look, I know you're not dumb. And I'm not dumb. I've given you the money already, all right? I need you to tell me that the English guy, Peter Sinclair, hired you and 7 other guys. Those guys are all dead now. You're the last survivor to kidnap Chantel Addington. Do you understand me? All right. Give me the camera. Good. Okay, say it. Say what I just told you.
You want to hear it? You say it, pal.
What the hell is this?
You call it whatever you want to call it.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get both of you.
You want her? Huh? Here, take her. She's yours.
You told me he was my ticket to hang the guy with.
I told you not to push the guy. I told you he was nervous.
Nervous. He was nervous. All that crazy idiot had to do was repeat exactly what I told him to say. I would have had it on tape and it would have been done. We'd be out of here now.
They took you.
Nobody takes me. Nobody takes me.
What do you think you're doing?
I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna get my money's worth. I'm gonna get my story, too. You're gonna tell me everything there is to know about the Addington kidnapping.
I don't know anything more.
Oh, too bad. Is that camera working?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, let me tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna write you a bit for you. I sent you out on a special assignment to get the truth, for the raw truth. You, with that great reputation, you got out there, something backfired, something went wrong. I got word of what was happening to you. I was terrified. I had to run to save you. I came over here as fast as I could. I broke in, and I found your body bleeding and broken on the floor.
Cut. Print. It's a wrap.
Sinclair, you set me up.
No, not really.
You son of a...
Consider that your screen test.
Of course, most of the men had to go off to war, so the Schneider's plant started hiring women, and that's when I started there. The first thing I was told was that if something wasn't good enough to be served to your family, then it didn't go out of the plant. That was the golden rule, plain and simple.
At Schneider's, we're still committed to the same high standards in everything we make. Because after all,
you can taste the difference quality makes.
Right now, Proactive Solution has good news if you have a difficult pimple or sudden breakout and are looking for relief. Because when you order now, you'll get the exclusive refining mask free with your 3-piece kit. Just a dab, and the mask is designed to zap problems. It's fast. It's dramatic. Instead of hoping for an answer, use the mask and you've got it.
I use the mask for spot treatment sometimes. You know, I put it on in the evening before I go to bed, and I was happy with how it made my skin look. And, you know, that's a good feeling.
I use the refining mask, and people starting to compliment me on my skin, and I was sold. That's what I tell people. It's like my little skincare army.
Call now and order Proactive Solution to help clear your acne and help prevent future breakouts. Proactive is the #1 best-selling acne system in America, with over 10 million customers around the world.
I enjoy life more. I get out there and I do the things that I want to be doing without having to worry about the way that I look.
And now you'll save 50% on Proactive for just $19.95 Canadian. That's right. Proactive is now available in Canadian dollars.
Proactive's really, changed my life. It's changed the way people see me, and every hour of the day I'm thankful for it. It's, like confidence in a bottle, really.
And you'll have the refining mask to zap problems. It's fast, as it helps revitalize the look of your skin.
For on-the-spot pimple control, I use the refining mask. Just a little dab, that's all you need.
It's a Proactive exclusive, and it's yours free when you order the Proactive kit at 50% off.
I use the mask over my full face just so that I can make sure everything's even. It's great.
Order in the next 3 minutes, and you can have the refining mask at no charge. It's Proactive's hottest product, and it's part of Proactive's best offer.
I can tell it works. I know it works, and it's definitely my favorite product.
Don't just dream of clear, beautiful skin. Make it real. Order Proactive now. Just call 1-800-526-3114.
It just makes you feel so good.
Open your mind. We are all able. Open your mind.
I'm going to write your obituary for you. I sent you out to do a story for the raw truth. But it backfired. You ran into some problems. I got word of what was happening to you. I was terrified. I had to run to save you. I came over here as fast as I could. I broke in, and I found your body bleeding and broken on the floor.
After this footage was released to staff at WNN, Monroe Park issued an apology and a retraction of his sensationalist story about Senator David Carmichael. I'm Linda Watt for WNN. Good day.
Good coup, Mr. A.
We have another offer by another syndicator. They want to run the expose on Monroe Park.
That covers 90% of the American market. And what's more, they want Ms. Jamon's interview with Diane Carmichael as a follow-up.
Ah, well, I guess you could say we're a success in the television business. Yes, sir. It seems as though there's some future in it.
Especially now that Monroe Park is fading from the scene.
All we need now is someone good-looking to replace Park.
Which one would you choose?
The show could use a woman for a change. What do you think?
Well, I was actually thinking of someone a little more mature. Yes, you're absolutely right, sir. I think Bennett's a great idea. Facts alone are only part of the story. The whole truth depends on who tells it and why.